We have installed the Java Development Kit and the NetBeans IDE. Before we start coding in NetBeans, I want you to set up a GitLab account. Now, here's how we do that. Open up a web browser and go to gitlab.nps.edu. That will bring you to this screen. You are an NPS user, so you want to sign in using your NPS account down here. And yours may ask you for an additional login, but that's okay. Now, okay, we're going to create a project. So click New Project in the upper right. It gives you some options here. Let's just create a blank project. That's all we need. Now, I want yours to be called CS2173 with capital C, capital S, and have just that be it. That is important because that will, the name is going to be important for your submission of your projects. But mine is going to be called a little bit different. So don't use this naming. But mine is going to be called class code W24. Now, if this gives you some options, make sure that it has your user. Okay, so yours should just look like this. All right, mine is going to look like this. And you're going to have access to mine, and I'm going to have access to yours. But okay, so and all of that will be covered. So we'll create the project, and it has all this information. That's useful information. Kind of, we won't really be needing that. However, the next important thing is to set up what's called an access token. So now there are a couple of options for this. You can set one up just for this project, but since you will also be using GitLab for other courses, possibly in this quarter or even the next couple, so go up to this icon up here. It's like a little blue square on mine, and go to Edit Profile. And on the left-hand side, come down to Access Tokens. Now, as you can see, I've already created a number of other tokens, but let's add a new token. What the heck? All right, let's try that again. What is it? All right, and okay, 111. That is delete the expiration date. It'll change it back to a year, I think, by default. Make sure you select API. That'll give you that'll give this token access to everything that you create, and then create it. Okay, so now here it is. It's just going to be some gobbledygoo, as you can see, but this is going to be the only place that you actually have access to it. So what you're going to want to do is copy it, and then kind of just for now, paste it into a text file. Oh, and just for now, we want to save this. Because they make it so secure that you have to kind of save it somewhere. Otherwise, it's going to be useless to you. Okay, so now how do we use this? Well, we're going to use this with NetBeans. So let's start up NetBeans again. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, so now notice I'm doing this on Windows. That's just to kind of slow me down because I'm kind of more comfortable on a Mac. But it's going to, now this, what I just did is going to be the same on a Mac, and what I'm about to do is going to be the same here. So now, having created the GitLab project, we are going to create a NetBeans project. So to do that, there are two ways to do that. You can say File, New Project, or click on this little brown icon here. Now, we want to select Java with Ant, and then choose Java Class Library. Make sure that you have that as it was done there. So now it's just going to activating, and so this is the first time it's doing all this. So NetBeans is setting up all the connections. It is not going to take this long once everything is all set up. And it usually doesn't take this long either. Okay, there we are. Now, the project location. It keeps trying to save stuff on my OneDrive. All right, I'll let it go there. All right, so now your project name is, it can be anything, but I want you to call it CS2173, again, just as before, with capital C, capital S. Now, we may or may not be using this time. We will definitely be using it next quarter, but so check this box that says use dedicated folder for storing libraries. So later in the course, we may be using a third-party library, and that's how we want to do that. So project name, whatever, finish, and you can save it wherever you like. That's sort of the the key there. Now, this may be a little bit confusing. Now, remember when we did our Hello World that we put it in a named package. So here's how we do this in NetBeans. In source packages, I'm right-clicking and selecting New Java Package. The name I give it, now here, it's going to be CS2173 again, but notice it's lowercase. Package names are lowercase, so this is it's an important convention. Now, if Java, it'll let you do it if it's not all caps, but it's still better to do it that way. So let's finish that. And then what we want to do is now we want to create a new Java. We're doing Hello World again. Okay, so now notice that, okay, they say Java class, a bunch of other stuff. We want a Java main class. If it isn't shown, select Other, and then under Java, we'll search for Java main class. That's what we want. After we do it once, it'll put it on the menu, and we're going to do our Hello World again, except in this, make sure the location is in the correct package. We're going to finish that up. And then NetBeans puts this kind of, now notice what it's done now. Let's, I always like to delete this. Okay, couple things. One is it's created that first line package that we had typed in ourselves. It declared public class Hello World that we had to type in. And then, because we asked for a main class, it wrote the main. Notice it's exactly the same as it was before. Public static void main, array of strings, and then This calls it args. You can call it anything you want. But, again, just to okay, and then unlike NetBeans, if we have a little typo, it says it can't find the symbol. So, okay. And notice that it gives a red squiggly whenever something is off. And that is important, that we sometimes call that the red squiggly of death, but it's actually your friend. Because what that means is that if there's a syntax error or just anything amiss, it will not let you run the program until it gets fixed. Now, speaking of running the program, what we can do is just right-click in an area in the file and just say Run File. So let's run the file and see what happens. It should come up with a little console down here, and then it prints it out, hello world. So that is awesome. Now, the next step is we need to synchronize this with our GitLab. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to first right-click and go to versioning and say initialize Git repository. And that will initialize it in the same place that it's located. And then notice that hello world, the name of the file, is now in green, and notice it says added. Okay, what does all that mean? That we'll get to that. But now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to GitLab, and we're going to go to our project, and in the kind of toward the right is a little green button that says clone. We want to hit the down arrow in this and then select clone with SSH. I'm sorry, no, clone with HTTPS, sorry. Clone with HTTPS. So we're going to copy that URL and then go back to NetBeans. Where the heck is it? Go back to NetBeans, and we are going to, again, do right-click, and then now, since we've initialized Git, we have one called Git. Choose Remote Pull. Now, since we haven't done it here, the repository URL, we do in this case, Control or Command V. For the user, enter your NPS login name. And for the password, you want to enter that access token that you created. So remember, we had it back here. I saved it here, so I want to copy that and paste it in as the password. And I want to click Save Password. And I say next. It grinds and whirs. And now, okay, it says master to origin master. I want to select that and click finish. Okay, so now notice a few things have changed here. So master is, that's kind of the Git name for stuff. Notice that if we go to the Files tab, we see that, remember that README that was here? That has been downloaded. We are now synchronized, sort of, or at least we are now connected with our GitLab repository. Now, so here's the thing, is that if we go back to our GitLab, we see that, let's see, if we go to code, and here's the repository, basically, that's still all that's there. That's there. Here's what we need to do. We need to first commit. And how do we do that? Go to the top of your NetBeans project, right-click. Again, go to Git, commit. and we see that there's a whole bunch of stuff here. These are NetBeans files. We do want to commit those. And then here's our hello world. So we always want to commit message, but we don't want to don't write War and Peace. Just sort of say, okay, what is this? If I say hello world, that tells you what it is. And we type commit. And now notice what happened here. Hello world now is black. What that means, it has been committed, at least locally. And now if we go back to our project and we refresh, it's not there. Okay, why isn't it there? It's not there because what we have done is we have committed all of this locally. So this is only on our computer. What we need to do now is we need to push it up to the GitLab repository. And how do we do that? We right-click, again, at the top of the project. Always do commits from the top of the project and pushes. Git remote. Remember, we did a pull. What's the opposite of pull? Push. So we select push. And then now we have configured our repository location already. We've saved the password, so we don't have to go through all that again. And we hit next. Now, what does this mean? U means that the master is going to be updated. And the remote master we want to update. So we usually have to do that twice. We click finish, it grinds and whirs, and now if we go back and refresh our repository, we now see that there is all this stuff here. So everything that we had, and in particular, here's our code.